from the station on your side. You're watching WAVY News 10 on Fox 43.
Terrible. It's terrible to be on vacation and think that you might not, that you didn't live. It's awful.
Tonight, fatal fire. Days after flames engulfed a vacation home in the Outer Banks, we've learned the names of those who lost their lives.
This is unprecedented. It is unnecessary, and it is unsafe.
Then, promotion problems. As one Navy admiral retires after decades of service, the fight over abortion rights continues to impact the military. Tonight, what this means for security here at home.
It's mean.
It's mean.
Yes, you're mean to us.
It's mean to us. It is.
Plus, a survivor story. 5 years ago, we introduced you to a little boy fighting cancer. Our Michelle Wolf introduces you to this little fighter again, and now how his family pays it forward. Well, good Monday night, and thank you for joining us. Welcome to a brand new look for an old favorite. I'm Maria Elena Baloris. Tom will be back later this week. Tonight's big story is the weather. We begin with a live look over the Virginia Beach oceanfront. It's been a steamy, sticky start to the week across the area. Now, rain might have impacted your drive home, but tonight, Chief Meteorologist Jeff Edmondson is tracking storms for tomorrow. He's joining us from our new weather center. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Lena. Yeah, tomorrow we're going to see some showers and storms develop during the afternoon, kind of like what we did today, but there'll be a lot more widespread tomorrow across our area, I believe. Let's take a look outside right now because we have good weather outside with just a few clouds that are passing through the area, rain that's moving out of the region. It's looking a lot better right now as we look to our local weather and also just regionally, too. There's some clear skies. We should see decreasing clouds or clearing skies as we go into tonight across our area. So that means tomorrow we reset. We see sunshine as we start the day tomorrow. We see our temperatures heat right back up. Today, it was in the mid-90s. Tomorrow, same deal. It's still in the 80s right now, and that humidity outside, it's still really high. So we have a lot of humidity right now. We will see a lot of heat tomorrow, and that's going to be the fuel for these thunderstorms. Look at our future track here at 3 o'clock tomorrow. You can see kind of a zone of thunderstorms starting from Maryland all the way through Richmond and down towards Charlotte. So this zone of thunderstorm activity pops up around 3 o'clock tomorrow. As we go towards that evening drive time tomorrow, it could be slower than normal with this heavy rain coming down. And the problem with the rain tomorrow is wherever it develops, it's going to stay falling over that same town or that same city for maybe an hour or two or maybe even longer than that. And that could lead to some flash flooding or some localized flooding. The timing for the rain is all towards the end of the day. So it's not early on, it's towards the end of the day. So most of the day tomorrow is just going to be a really hot one with thunderstorms expected during the afternoon and into the evening. More on this forecast. We'll time it out and show you what those rain totals might be in just a bit.
All right, Jeff, thank you. Don't forget to have that free WAVY weather app on your phone for the latest from Super Doppler 10. Scan the QR code on your screen and make sure you have the alerts turned on for any watches or warnings. Just into the WAVY newsroom, we're learning Portsmouth police are investigating a shooting. Officers say they learned about the incident just before 5:15. While we're working to learn where exactly the shooting happened, we're told one man walked into a local hospital. Stay with us on air and online as we work to learn more. We're learning all new tonight. A Chesapeake man was arraigned this morning on 19 charges, including aggravated sexual battery and indecent acts by a child custodian. Robert E. Brewer is suspected of raping and impregnating 2 minors. According to court paperwork, police took him into custody on August 11th. A magistrate denied his bail that same day, citing the nature and the count of the charges. He has a preliminary hearing set for December 5th. Meanwhile, in Norfolk, a husband and wife accused in a deadly attack faced a judge today. 50-year-old James Lynch and his wife, 43-year-old Christy Lynch, were charged with second-degree murder. It happened Friday on Mariner's Way in Ocean View. Officers found 45-year-old Jose Moreno dead inside of an apartment. The couple's currently held at the Norfolk City Jail without bond. The incident remains under investigation, so look for updates on air and online. Turning now to a follow-up from the Outer Banks as we learn the names of those who lost their lives in last Friday's deadly house fire. the youngest victim just 13 years old. This was the scene early that morning in Kill Devil Hills. A city spokesperson tells us it was a married couple and a teenager who died. 68-year-old William Deege, 64-year-old Colleen Cohen, and 13-year-old Sienna Farr are all from Maryland. Sienna's mother, Laura, and older sister, Sadie, were both hurt. Laura's boyfriend, David, was also burned. Tonight, Laura and David are in the burn unit at Sentara Norfolk General Hospital.
Regardless of where they're from, when you step foot into our town, you become part of the Kill Devil Hills community. And so when we have a loss like that, it really affects us all as a whole.
The big question tonight, what caused the fires? Investigators from Kill Devil Hills, Dare County, and the State Bureau of Investigation continue their work to answer that. Back here in Virginia, the search is on for what sparked a fire that burned 3 homes in Norfolk. Crews were called to Granby Street just after 5 a.m. It's not far from the Ocean View Golf Club. It took firefighters a little less than 90 minutes to get the flames under control. Neighbor Karen Petrie has lived in the area for more than 2 decades and tells us she loves her neighbors. While they lost it all, Karen says she knows the community will stand behind them.
We're like family neighbors, both sides and these people. Very good neighbors, excellent. They had a ton of people helping them with what they could rescue out of the fire and what needed to be thrown away and what needed to be put into a pod for storage. There was all kinds of people helping when their house was on fire first.
Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Fire officials say one of the homes was struck by lightning last week, but the cause of this fire remains under investigation. Continuing coverage now on a story our team first brought you 5 years ago. Tonight, a Virginia Beach family is using their experience fighting pediatric cancer, all in an effort to help other families in Hampton Roads. Down on your sides, Michelle Wolf joins us with one survivor's story and how his parents are giving back. Michelle?
Lena, we first met David Johnson in 2018. David, who was then 2 years old and in treatment for neuroblastoma, threw the first pitch at a Norfolk Tides game. 5 years later, he's cancer-free and helping other children like him.
King David, you're gonna beat cancer's butt?
Yeah,
How are you gonna do it?
and I can fit my muscle.
8-year-old David Johnson remembers little about his fight with pediatric cancer.
Throughout his treatment, he would wear that Superman costume, and he would take that IV pole and run up and down the hallways.
He was just 18 months old at the time.
David was diagnosed with neuroblastoma April 3rd, 2017.
David's mom, Chrissy Johnson, will never forget his time in the hospital, publishing her private journal into a book called Fighting for King David as a way to cope.
There were days where I had to choose whether I wanted to eat or pay for the medication for my child. Making that choice made me realize that I didn't want another parent to go through that too as well.
5 years later, and David is cancer-free.
He is in school. He's playing football now, flag football.
Johnson's grateful and has since started her own nonprofit called Mom Advocate Foundation.
Our goal is to empower and spread awareness about childhood cancer, but also provide knowledge and resources for those families that are in need.
The organization is hosting its first gala on September 9th, raising money to provide meals and gas cards to families driving to and from cancer treatment. Former Cincinnati Bengals defensive end Devin Still, whose daughter Leah was also diagnosed with neuroblastoma and is now cancer-free, will be the keynote speaker.
There's hope. The fight is not easy, but I will tell you, take it a moment at a time and do not try to take it day by day. Day by day, it's just way overwhelming. But if you take it one step, one moment at a time, you will get through it. That's the only thing that I can do. There's nothing else that I can do to take the pain away except for help assist them along the way.
We have more information about the Mom Advocate Foundation and Gala on WAVY.com. In the new studio, Michelle Wolf, 10 on your side.
Michelle, thank you. We have new information tonight as Senator Tim Kaine continues his trip here in Hampton Roads. He joined Congressman Bobby Scott in Chesapeake this afternoon. The duo delivered $1 million to Chesapeake Regional Medical Center. It'll support mental health services. The hospital says Chesapeake doesn't have an inpatient behavioral health unit. These funds will help establish a 20-bed unit. Continuing coverage of how clubs can use public school facilities in Chesapeake. More than 30 people spoke at tonight's tonight's school board meeting. This is related to the after-school Satan Club and the controversy surrounding it. Ultimately, the school board voted to keep its current facility use policies in place. It does not ban external groups from using school facilities, but does place some additional requirements and restrictions on them. We have detailed coverage of the club over on WAVY.com. Looking ahead to tomorrow, there are 3 important things you need to know about. Starting in Virginia Beach, that is where City Council is expected to vote on funds for a fall music festival. If approved, it'll be held October 20th and 21st at 31st Street. You may remember that's where the Jackalope Festival was held earlier this year. You can read more about the potential festival over on WAVY.com. On the peninsula, Newport News Police Chief Steve Drew will host another virtual chat tomorrow. There will be 2 sessions, the first at noon, the other at 6. This will be on Facebook Live. It's part of a monthly initiative from the city's police department. The chief will discuss upcoming events, what the department is doing to fight crime, and of course, answer your questions. Meanwhile, if you're heading out to grab some groceries for this week, Kroger is offering a 10% discount for military members and families tomorrow. You can use the discount for in-store purchases across Hampton Roads. You'll need to show your military ID. The grocery chain offered this deal on several occasions this summer, but tomorrow is the last day for it. Still to come tonight, cruise concerns. Vacationers can soon head to Yorktown in an all-new way. It's a story 10 on your side, first reported. New tonight, our Lauren Moss explains why some people aren't happy. Then, safe and sound. Local Coast Guard crews saved 4 men who went under the water in North Carolina and didn't resurface. Tonight, the message from officials.
From the station on your side, you're watching WAVY News 10 at 10 on Fox 43.